public documents released ahead of that meeting. We have some idea now of what may disappear.
We have a team covering this big meeting tonight. First, Ian Hardwick has been digging through some of those documents today.
Yeah, and so Ian, did you find that the number of cuts adding up to the 300 number that Superintendent Brian Yearwood put out earlier?
Connie, we found some cuts, but nowhere near the 300 the superintendent told us about. In fact, there were some additions in these organizational charts that were just released yesterday. I talked to one board member on his way in, Taylor Everett. He said there were not enough cuts and there was not enough time to look at these documents ahead of tonight's meeting. So what was actually in those organizational charts? Let's talk about the biggest cuts that we found. 30 jobs in the operational division, 18 of those would be bus monitor positions, then some smaller cuts to mechanics both on the vehicle and property side of JCPS. Then the second largest cuts, this is to the Opportunity and Access Division. This was previously named the Diversity, Equity, and Poverty Division. A lot of the jobs in there rank from some of the higher up ones like we've been promised at the central office to some academic coaches, not the academic instructional coaches we're worried about at the school level. That would still be at the district level. Then, when we're talking about the jobs that were added, the biggest single position jump that we found, that was a bump in the JCPS Police Department for a brand new position that's called the Risk Assessment Consultant. Now, that's an entirely different job than a school resource officer. A district spokesperson reassured us that the number of cuts does outweigh the number of additions. However, by news time now, we still have not received a net number on how many cuts made. So with all this confusion about the 300 jobs and not enough cuts in these organizational charts to reach that number, we reached out to a former board member, Sam Corbett, who looked at what we looked at.
It looks to me like they've just kind of rearranged some of their top people. They've added new job titles. They've replaced one job title with another. But as we discovered, in many cases, the pay scale did not change.
Sam Corbett there said the cuts were negligible. Now, he also talked there about jobs at the very top of the food chain here at JCPS. He mentioned that some were renamed. There were some assistant superintendents, 4 of those that were renamed to regional superintendents. And then there at the very top of the organizational chart, 2 more assistant superintendent jobs added. Up there at the top, we're not seeing the cuts. We have a night team who's going to be in here for the meeting starting at 6 o'clock tonight. And as you can see, people are already lined up. They've been out here for hours. Reporting for WHAS 11 News, I'm Ian Hardwick on your side.